is Ray Daniels, aka the Culture Referee, and I want to ask you: are you ever frustrated with uploading a video to YouTube and you get no views? I know I was when I first started. If you're a music artist and you have your own podcast or your content creator, look no further. Wham Promotions has gotten you covered. They specialize in high-end targeted YouTube campaigns that deliver real views, real subscribers, and most importantly, real growth. So if you're struggling with real organic YouTube growth, I'm here to tell you to go on Wham Promotions and use the promo code GAUDS and receive 20% when you check out. Tell them Ray sent you, you got 20% off. Let's go, guys. I'm looking to see you guys on the charts. Let's go.
Hey, I'm Rocki Jean.
And this is Ray Daniels, aka the Culture Referee, and welcome to the GAUDS Show. Let's go. And today, Rocki, we have a very special guest. This is my little bro. I was there in the room when he just signed his deal. And I meet hundreds of people who just signed their deal for some reason. But when I met this kid, I was like, he gonna be something. And the reason why was because he was in the corner, sitting in the chair, but I don't even remember who I was talking to. It was like Jeff Vaughn. It was somebody I was talking to.
Yeah, it was Jeff.
It was me and Jeff Vaughn. Shout out to Jeff. And we were talking just about the business, and he was just like, you could just tell. I'm like, oh, he gonna win because he cared. So let's give it up for 6-time Grammy Award-winning executive producer, artist, songwriter who's worked with Beyonce, Justin Bieber, Shakira, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B. And he's just all around a great guy. And if you rewind back to one of the first GAUDS shows I've ever done, and I did the GOAT and Underdog list. He was on my Underdog list for new songwriters that I was like, he gonna be one of them GOATs. So everybody give it up for my little bro and one of the youngest legends in this game, Derek Milano. Let's go. Man, you know, it's weird, Derek, when I do those type of things, man, because we partners. You know what I'm saying? Like me and your manager close. It's like it's weird when I do these things. I'm like, these are my people. I don't even know how to interview them. We just talk every day, but I'm gonna get it right.
Nah, I appreciate that, man.
So Derek, tell us. So it was something that I want to ask you, right? How you are a good kid from Philly,
Yep.
right?
Hey.
She's from Philly too.
Yeah, we was
good
having
kid
that
from Philly,
conversation.
2-parent household.
Yeah.
But you was out here, you still out here writing raps for street niggas.
Yeah.
How are you able to apply yourself to that when you grew up the way you grew up? Just curious.
Yeah, I think for me is that I feel like just being a black man, we come across all different types of backgrounds. You know, I was raised in Delaware. And
Joe
being
Biden.
back and forth from there, and Philly, being between Chester and going to DC. A lot of my friends, you know what I'm saying, were from all over the place. Like we would be put in these public schools, and a lot of my friends, they all come from different backgrounds. And I think for me is like I don't really talk violence in the music when I work with them.
Gotcha.
I try to kind of come out. I always tell them like, yo, treat me like the cool homeboy that's in the studio with you that's just extra good at rapping.
Yeah.
And that's gonna help you with hooks, or I can help you come up with concepts and ideas with a deep vocabulary, so I can really break down like how we can make a dope record. So for me, I think it's just open up their mindset on like where to create from in a universal way. Because I mean, you know, I don't really want to talk about killing and spinning in music. You know
I love
what I mean? Like I don't really. You know, but people do is their business, but that's not what I stand for. So for me, I come in like, yo, we gotta talk to the shorties. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta make music that the women gonna feel, or we gotta make anthemic music that's gonna touch the world outside of just making it so personal for what they got going on. Plus, you gotta understand too. I mean, you've been in this industry for a long time, so you know it gets to a point where it's like, how many times you gonna say the same thing? You know what I'm saying?
Another perspective
Exactly.
enters the room.
You know what I mean? So I just kind of just come in like, how can we enhance what you're doing and just take it to a broad level and take it to a bigger level and you know, still kind of keep it you, but also show elevation in who you are and elevation in your mindset and growth in your mindset as a creator.
You're an artist, and it's like Teron was an artist, right? And Teron didn't know that he was gonna make millions from writing songs. He thought he was gonna make millions from the stage, right? And then you fall into songwriting. what made you think you can even do it, right? For people at home watching, it's a very, very hard, it's not a hard line to walk once you figure it out, but figuring out is a very hard line, right? When you make a song that feels like a hit, of course you want it for yourself, but then you have to have that discernment to be able to say, that's not me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that. By the way, I didn't have that. Like, I learned all of the stuff I learned from scenarios like literally Tehran and them. We just signed the Interscope. They in the Trey Song sessions for Mike Karen, and they write this song for Trey Song called Losing It. And then our A&R from Interscope just happens to be there, and she's like, oh, that needs to be y'all song. And of course, I'm just a young manager. I'm like, I'm just glad y'all like something.
Yeah.
Like, let's put it out. And then it doesn't work. And then all of a sudden you got whack juice on you, but it's like, no, that was, but what I had to learn was that was for Trey. Never sing a song for Trey if you're not in the same category as Trey. Why would you do that? So for you, what made you feel like you even had the ability to separate Derek Milano, the artist, from Derek Milano, the writer, and be able to still execute on both sides?
I think it's just being true to myself and being authentic. I think I create music like I tell my friends and I tell my team, like when I do music, it's a little bit more personal with me. Like I treat like I'm a Capricorn, so we don't really speak out too much. We kind of keep a lot of stuff built in. So it's like when I get on the microphone, like whatever I say on that microphone, 9 times out of 10 is what I'm going through. So I tell people like to really know where I'm at mentally, you gotta listen to what I'm saying in my music, because that's the only time that I feel like I could say something outside of like a few close friends of mine where I could be the most vulnerable and like not be judged from what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think for me, it's like when I record my music, it comes from a real place.
Yeah.
So sometimes, you know, I think about it, I'm like, man, is this like too personal? Like what I'm talking about right now? Because you know, we hear the words, oh, we need a hit, we need this, and it's like for other people, I can easily go in and make a repetitive hook or something. But like when it comes down to like a true Derek Milano record and like a true Derek record, it's very, very, very vulnerable and personable. And I think for me, especially now in the space that I'm in, I think that that's kind of like what makes me an artist, because I'm like I'm a introverted extrovert.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I'm saying? Like people will say, oh yeah, he's an open book, but it's like if you ask what do they know about me, they're not really gonna say nothing but, oh, he's a nice guy, he's cool, like he's respectful, but like you have to really know me to like know what I'm going through, because I never tell nobody and I never show it ever. I done been in some dark places, you know what I'm saying, like mentally, and it's like, you know, I had to remain being, oh yeah, you know, he's good, because
you had to remain in character,
you know.
Would you let somebody songwrite for you?
100%. Okay. Especially because I see how easy it is.
Yeah.
You just got to be better than me.
I love it.
Me, you know what I'm saying? But nah, there are some amazing like writers, and even like outside of the writing side, I'm glad you asked that question. Like some people just have signature thing. It might be a melody that I might like. Like they might have a pocket or something that I might have never had before, and I'll be able to throw some words. You know what I'm saying? So now that I see both sides of it, I understand. I get it. It's nothing wrong with it. You
I
know
agree.
What I'm saying? Like
whatever's best for the record to me.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter who wrote it, who contributed, whatever's best for the record. Let me ask you, when did you get confident as a songwriter? And I'm asking you that, I feel like it's a question that I can ask because I've been there, right?
Yeah.
I remember when Tehran wrote 400 songs in 1 year, and we only sold one, but the 399 was terrible. And it was only me in there like, that's bad. What are you doing? Like figure it out. And then, so you got to almost focus on you first. That's why I'm asking you this. You know where I'm going. You got to focus on Derek Milano first. Derek has to be a great songwriter. Then you go in the room. And when you go in the room, it's damn like an out-of-body experience now, because you're kind of new to this, but you're expected to do it at the highest level, and no one knows but you. Like, nigga, it's like starting an NBA game for the first time as a rookie. It's like, what do I do? So like, I know you had to go through that, but like, at what time in your career did you get confident where you was like, ooh, I could do this shit?
Man, I think as soon as they was like right for other people, to be honest, because I wasn't doing it at first. You know what I'm saying? I was doing my own thing. You know what I mean? And
So did they feel like your artistry wasn't going anywhere lucrative, and they were saying, well, songwrite instead, or how
it
did
was
it go?
actually promised. Like I met with like the first labels that I met with Coach K and P. I met with Zeke from 300. I met with Jermaine and L.A. Reid over at Epic. Dizzy Cleanface and Zoe Dollars gave me my first opportunity when
my niggas.
I was with Troy in Orlando. This was 2000 and I would say 2013, 14. DJ Nasty and Spiff TV, you know what I'm
my
saying?
guys, yeah, Nasty's my guy.
Yeah, so I've had opportunities. I think the biggest thing was like I never had a plan. And that's really why I really rock with Troy too.
I was about to say,
like,
as soon as you said that, I looked at you and I'm like, that's what Troy does. A planner. Like, you know the mission, but you need someone that could say, here's the first step.
Yeah.
They might not even know the whole steps, but they know the first few. And then they smart enough to know when we get there to the final step, I'll know what to do from there.
Yeah.
That's literally how my career has been. Like, that's why I can relate to it. It's like, that's why I like talking to people like you, because for me, you know, I feel like people watch us and they look at us and they're like, oh, of course it's good for you to sit in your seat you sit in. It's like, nah, when I met Derek, he didn't know what he was gonna do. No. I mean, I didn't know. Jeff didn't know. I think you probably was like, nobody knows, but watch what the fuck I do. You see what I'm trying to say?
Nah,
so this business is really difficult because you never really know until you just gotta stay within the process and then you figure it out and then you're like, damn, this is it. I always wanted to ask you this, we never talked about this, by the way, but when I saw you announce the major record deal, I was mad. I was a little pissed. Let me tell you why I was mad at you. I wasn't mad at you, but let me tell you why I was pissed.
Yeah, talk to me.
Because that's what major labels do. That's like a little ploy that they do, where they'll sign the hot writer to a record deal, but it's really not for the writer. It's for the other artists that they want to sign so they could be able to say, oh yeah, and by the way, you know, Derek Milano's over here. So we could probably get it right. It's proximity, right? So I said it to say that they sign you and then it's like, you realize in the middle of it, like, I think these niggas wanted just me. I mean, not just me, but all of me, not the me that I thought they was here for. It's like Kanye when he was coming up and G. Roberson said, they told him, if you want to manage him, you got to manage him as an artist. And they was like, artist? This nigga's the dopest, biggest producer in hip hop. Hey, if you don't tell a nigga you want to manage him as an artist, he ain't going to fuck with you. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like when I saw you get signed, I was a little like, I didn't think it was not going to work out, but I felt like, what they're gonna do to you is what they do to everybody in your position. It's what they do to people, managers and everything. This is a little trick the industry play. They let you get hot and then they give you another option. Yeah, so let's say you get hot as a producer. And then they like, oh, okay, cool, you're a producer? You want a label? Now you're a label owner. You don't know how to run a fucking label. You don't even know what running the label's about. And now they're looking at you.
They do that because it's at their benefit?
They do that because it's at their benefit, but it's also a trick because now you got to pick. So now it's like,
why would you do that? Why would they do that?
Well, because now Derek I just signed Derek and I got this new artist on my label that I want to get signed, that I just signed, that I need a record from. And Nicki is chasing Derek to get a record from him too. Now they're looking at Derek like, you gonna go give Nicki a record or you gonna fuck with the home team? So now Derek is like, that's what they did to us at Interscope. Like I felt like I worked for Jimmy. Like it was like, no, we would have records to Clive, and dog, it would be we gave it to Clive, and Jimmy is like, nah, take that back. No, we can't do that. You guys are signed to me. Why wouldn't you do that? Don't you want to see the home team win more? But we ain't on your team. Because if we was on your team, we would be on your team. We are contributors to your team, and it's a mind fuck to make us think you picking you over you. That's the game, right? So when I saw that, I was like, only thing I was tripping, I was like, good. He was Zeke. He was, you know, Jen over there, Zeke over there, Sylvia over there. I like they good. But then I also said, they're gonna wait for you to show your hand. They're gonna give you a deal. Then they're gonna say, let's see what he does now. What's the schedule for the next 6 months, Troy? And if Troy don't say, shut down everything just to work on the album, now they got an excuse to say why your shit didn't work. So if Troy said, we're gonna work the next 3 months on the album, but we gotta stop after that 3 months because he gotta lock in with Beyonce. They looking at you like, you picking Beyonce over yourself. Okay, don't get mad at us when we start moving. It's just a trick. So when you got signed, I was like, to me it was like, I was happy because I was like, that mean my nigga hot.
Yeah.
But I was also like, fuck, they gonna take some of his heat. Because why would they announce it? Why would they put that out there? Labels chase clout too.
Yeah.
Why
Do
they
you
put
feel
it
like
out
they did
there?
that? Do you feel like they took some of your heat?
Man, that whole situation. I
You can see his face.
Yeah, go on,
you can see it in his
get
eyes.
into it.
I know all this. He looking like, you want to know the real motherfucking truth?
Nah, you know, because the thing is, like I said, Dizzy and Zoe Dollars gave me my first shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They took me on the road when Zoe had Blow a Check, and that was, he was with Epic.
Remember they first time he flew to LA? Mm-hmm. I flew him there.
Oh wow.
I was the first person to put Dizzy and Zoe on a plane, flew him to LA to work because I was trying to sign Zoe to Interscope when I just started, like a month into my job.
That's
how I
crazy.
met Dizzy, like 2015. Crazy.
See?
Yeah.
You feel me?
Good people.
That's why I moved the way I moved too, because I've been surrounded by them, by artists and creatives and managers like that. But yeah, I you know, Jermaine, he played a huge role because he was Zoe's A&R, but he also would just like, he would come to all the shows. And he
Jermaine
was-
Pegas.
Yeah.
That was my assistant.
Wow.
That is my nigga.
That's my dog, bro.
I love
To this
Jermaine,
day.
bro. He just had a baby. Congrats. I love Jermaine, bro. When he started as an intern, he was my assistant, and he went from intern to my assistant, and same person. Nothing is different
Nothing
today.
changed.
Shout out to Jermaine.
Nothing
What's up,
changed.
Jermaine?
Yeah, that's my guy. Because what happened was he was going to all. He's one of those A&Rs that shows up, not just in the office.
Yep.
Not just in the studio. That man was in his office, the studio, on tour, and at the shows and at the radios. Like he was literally next to Zoe
Yeah.
all the time. So at that time, I didn't really know his role. I just knew he was a cool guy. I didn't really know his role at Epic. And I remember he called and was like, "Yo, you got this record that's fire. Like, what's your situation?" So, you know, I always had that respect for them over there at Epic. I think the biggest thing for me was timing. I think that how they wanted to roll it out for me was to talk about all the songs that I did for other people, and respectfully, that's not how I got to where I'm at.
Did I not? I call it.
Like I didn't.
That's how they do it. They say the guy that wrote all the hits that you love is now with us.
Yeah.
They're chasing clout too. And by the way, it's nothing wrong with that, but it's just when you see the play,
Yeah.
you know the play. So how long did it last? Like, what was the situation? Like, what did you learn from it? Did you get out of it?
Yeah, I got out of
So give us a window into that scenario for everybody watching at home.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, all creatives, like especially if you do music, especially if being an artist is your first love, when you get the opportunity to get that situation, it's like, wow, a record deal. You know what I'm saying? Because you've manifested,
I made
you
it.
pray about it. It's something that you talk to your friends about. These are dreams that you literally like have as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember I used to write on my wall, my friend Julian's house, like, I want to sign to this label. Like we used to put it into music. I would make songs and talk about if I sign here, when I sign here. So for me, it was a motivational and an inspirational time, but it was also a learning experience in the fact of like understanding who I am mentally and like understanding like my value. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, it's like we have a hard time saying no. It's like everything's always yes. And I had to really understand like if I want to do this, I got to really put myself first. And I think that for me, that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to take off and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So I told my team, I'm like, I'm not really going to write for nobody. You know what I'm saying? So of course, there was a lot of A&Rs and people were like, oh, we're not going to call because everybody say you're working on your music, which I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? I'm cool with that.
So do you feel like you weren't getting the respect you deserved as a songwriter?
Nah, I think the respect is. I think my biggest thing about the whole thing is like people knowing your value more than knowing like getting the respect.
Can you do it? I want you to expound on that because that's really good. But I want you to expound on it from two different perspectives. The perspective of what you thought.
Yeah.
Because you had to think something to show up. You wasn't not confident when you showed up. You believed in yourself.
Yeah.
So it's basically what you thought and what you know.
Yeah.
So what did you think then and what do you know now?
So what I thought was when you get that opportunity to get in the building, Well, it was weird because it was during like quarantine.
Yeah.
So I mean, because you know when you met me signing as a songwriter,
Yeah.
I utilized the building. I
Yeah.
utilized the fuck out of
You're
the
an outside
building.
nigga.
Yeah, like I was in the
Look at
building
the outfit.
every day.
Look at the outfit.
Yeah.
He outside.
No?
You can tell. Listen, you can tell who outside and who ain't. Like
Appreciate it.
you outside. You always been an outside guy.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So for me, it was like I understand the value of companies. I understand the value of business, and I understand the value of corporations and like what they are to us and what they are to the world. So like for me, I was like, okay, word, I'll be able to go up here to the label and meet the people and like understand the marketing department and understand the digital department and be able to talk
Yeah.
to this department that might be A&Rs for a pop artist and let them hear my music, and then go to the sync department because that's what I was doing
As a publisher.
APG.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is like, I always like stress this to artists. It's like, bro, why? How do you work your whole life to get the opportunity to be in these rooms and you don't take advantage of it? Like when we didn't have nothing, I remember how hard I used to go to just even go to a studio or just go to like a radio station and like just to have the opportunity to reach out to these people. So like, I'm not gonna be a part of a company that has over 400 employees and not gonna know a majority of the employees.
Yeah. Or make sure
Especially
they
being
know
a
you.
people
Or
person.
just make sure they know
Exactly.
you. Yeah.
Especially me being a people person, like to really know people and understand who they are, because shoot, at the end of the day, it's still work, and everybody wants to like, you know, get their just due when it comes to their work. And I think my biggest thing was like, I really wanted to go in there and I wanted to utilize the building, and I didn't have the opportunity to
Did it
because
hurt?
it was quarantine.
Did it hurt you
Man.
when you pause the writing? Not that you care, but I'm just
Yeah.
curious because another thing that happens in the business is they trick songwriters out of their position by offering them deals. So usually the greatest songwriters that fell off, go look at it. They fell off when they start chasing the artist thing. Every songwriter that really fell off, they fell off when they was like, because what happens is they start saying no.
Exactly.
I'm working on my project, which means if they say yes 300 times in a year, 5 of them shits is going to hit. Like 5 of them shits is going to hit. Like, you know, but if you say no, the only option you give yourself, the only option to hit is you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Money Long for actually taking that. Like she
Yeah.
did it. Like it's a few that made it. But if you look at any songwriter historically that fell off, they fell off because they chased the artist dream. And so for me, that's why I'm like looking at it, I'm like how like when you decided to say no, like did it hurt your songwriting career? Did it like what was the residue of you saying, nah, I'm gonna just work on my stuff?
I think for me it's like the artists that I worked with, like my main collaborators, like they all respected me as an artist. So like I wasn't really getting placements from A&Rs. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't getting placed. Like people weren't calling me like that to just come in and session. It would usually be the artist hitting me or a producer, my producer relationships, saying that they working on stuff for me to like be a part of these projects. So I didn't. It's crazy because I felt like people wouldn't reach out as much, but I still had the respect of actually getting like a phone call and being able to still pull up and work with who I worked on. Because you got to think
Just
like
the word of mouth.
you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's like an anomaly. Like when you look at my my catalog and the artists that I work with, it's a lot, but a lot of them it's like multiples the same.
Because it comes
It's
back.
not really sporadic. It's not random. Like it'd be like 6 songs with one artist, 4 songs with another artist, 8 songs with another artist, 13 songs with this artist, 3 songs with this artist. It might be a couple one-offs, but I really value those relationships. So for me, when I took the jump into doing the artist stuff, they all was rocking with it.
Yeah.
Like Nicki was one of the first artists that wanted to sign me. She wanted to sign me and she wanted to do a label deal with me. Like after I put together Hot Girl Summer, like I spent 3 years with her. You know what I'm saying? From like 2019, 2020, like probably like 2022, working on like the Pink Friday 2 and like putting together certain songs, like whole lot of choppers, like something. So she was able to see like an executive side, but she was able also to see an artist side. So for me, I would still get the calls because they still respected the artistry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I always say that, and I think that's like going back to your question. Me being a songwriter, there's something that I got as my artistry that brings other artists around. So like a lot of my favorite songwriters are like The Dream, Jeremiah, Party Next Door, Pharrell, you know,
All the dope ones. Yeah.
Babyface, T-Ron, but you know what separates them from a lot of other songwriters? Because they have a specific sound. Like they have something about them that other artists like, so they don't mind keeping them on records. They don't mind hanging out with them as artists. Because
It's a confidence they
like,
have.
this is my dog.
Yeah.
They're not looking at it like, oh, this is a songwriter. So that's why, like, even when it comes to going in the rooms, I hate being introduced to an artist as, yeah, this is a dope writer. Because you're already trying to put me in a box.
Oh man.
Where it's like, nah, like me and you can collaborate on some artist stuff. And if you want me to stay on the song, this could potentially happen. You know what I mean? But don't, because when people hear songwriter, they automatically think that we just like pen to pad. Like, you know, sitting in the corner.
Got a lyric book.
Like, nah, man, we sparring. Like, me and Nas was sparring. Like, I got to spar with Nas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was probably, 26? And me and Nas going back and forth. And I respect Nas as an artist. So to be able to, like, go tat for tat with, I ain't gonna lie, this line is hard. And then me beat that line from Nas.
Crazy.
It's just a different type of thing. It's a different conversation. So...
With that being said, like you talking about Nas, you know what I'm saying? That's a classic. What moment did you work with somebody and who was it that you're like, man, this is what it's all for? Like if I was to redo life again, I want this to happen again.
I'm gonna have to give it to Nicki, to be honest.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna have to because before I even, because I had like maybe 2 or 3 songs prior. But Nicki is a legend, you know what I mean? She's been in it for a very long time. She's worked with everybody.
Yeah.
Literally. Like,
I got a Nicki plaque in office.
you know what I'm saying? Like, she's worked with everybody.
I got a couple Nicki singles. Yeah.
So I value what she says because she don't just have to say anything. And I remember when I first met her, Murder Beats had invited me to her house. Didn't know she lived in LA at the time. Like, I had no idea. I pull up and she was like, yeah, you're dope. She was like, I like a few beats, lay some melody.
What's good, everybody? This is Ray Daniels, aka the Culture Referee. And if you were wondering who this beautiful woman sitting next to me is my sister Tiffany Daniels Sai. Let's give it up for my sister. Everybody can clap. This is good. And my sister she's the most talented person in the family, and we started a family business, a signature scent company. So if you like smoke a lot of weed in your car and you want to get the scent out, you have to check out these scents. I know guys that use it for the weed. I know people that use it for cologne and everywhere they go to get compliments. We make candles. We make
room sprays. We got them in kits. So if you want to buy something for your loved one or anybody you know that you care about, hit us up, LorraineCo.com.
and we're going to put the website at the bottom of it. But support this black business, support this black woman, and order, I promise you guys. As a matter of fact, use the word GAUDs and we'll give you 15% off. I just made that up, so if my sister's face looks crazy, don't get mad at her. I'll eat that. But guys, when I tell you this shit is incredible, you really should check this out.
The best scents ever.
LorraineCo.com. And we'll put it at the bottom of the screen. Thank you.
Thanks.
He's down in the booth, and I'm like, okay. Mind you, I don't got my engineer, so I'm like, okay, let's see how this goes. You know what I'm saying? Because I can sing, you know what I mean? But I still want my stuff to sound a certain way because that's my vibe.
Yeah.
And I went in there, and I was like, this is it. She's either going to keep me in here or she's going to kick me out. So when I came out, the first thing that she said was, so who are you signed to?
Oh. I don't
Love
heart
that
dropped.
question. No, that's a great
You know
question.
what I'm saying?
That-
It's like coming from where I come from. You know what I mean? I'm like, Nicki Minaj is asking me who am I signed to?
yeah, that's fire.
And I had to, and I said, I'm just independent right now. I'm signed as a, producer, songwriter. I said, but, as an artist, I'm independent. And, there was a couple songs that like we did where I'm actually a feature on the song. And it was like, so that moment was like, wow,
Tell me what you was around Nicki for some years. What did you learn from her playing the songwriter producer role that was gonna help you in your artist role? Like, what did you see with her that you was like, oh, I need to implement that into what I'm doing?
Yeah, I would say the consistency, but the hiatus part. She makes people miss her.
Make you miss her. I love that.
She'll make and she wears so many hats and has her hands in so many things. You might know, you might not. So like with her, like I said, I didn't even know that she lived in LA because I always was like I ask people all the time, have you ever met Nicki Minaj? People be like, nah, it's like a myth. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I met her once and it was just in the studio when we was doing the records with her, and it was just kicking it for like a couple hours. So you're right. She does have that mythical energy where you see her as like, oh shit, like Beyonce has that too.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, she's out. She popped out. Yeah. Rihanna does too, but she uses that card.
yeah,
Rihanna will pop the fuck out on y'all. Like,
just slide.
yeah. So
But,
how did you land the executive producer job at the Madden game? Like, how did you get that?
Yeah, man, that was fun. I ain't gonna lie. So shout out to Nicole over at Interscope.
Okay, Nicole Circo. Yep.
She had hit me up and she was like, "Hey, you know, we're doing an athlete meets artist summit at Interscope where we're just gonna have all these athletes come and learn about the music business." And we had somebody, but they pulled out last minute. And at that time, I was doing a lot of stuff with Glorilla and with Gotti. And she was like, "You've been in here every day helping us with these artists." She was like, "So I was talking to Dave over there, and you know, we want to bring you in to, you know, just come through and meet the artists. Maybe you could bring your Grammy so they could see, meet the athletes.
Yeah.
Maybe you could bring your Grammy and, you know, they can see it in real time and you could just listen to their music." So I was like, okay. So then they called me back and they were like, "By the way, you know, they might want to record. So if they want to record, you know, if you want to help them with that, like you don't have to, but if you want to, you know, that'd be cool." So I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. So in my mind, when somebody already says something like that, my genius comes in like, nah, y'all want to record.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna like really prepare and I'm gonna put this together. So I called a couple of my friends, called my engineers, and I was like, yo, I'm about to go to Interscope doing this summit with the athletes and the artists. I said, but let's get up there maybe about 4 hours earlier. Let's go in and let's make like 4 hooks. I said, and then when we get there, I said, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna meet the athletes, I'm gonna let them play their music, I'm gonna hear which ones like really got it and which ones are like receptive to, you know, wanting to try certain things. And we're gonna put a song together because that's what I wanted to show Interscope that I could do that. So we did it. I pulled up. Darren Waller was there. Teron was there. Man, it was just everybody. Ray was there. And we literally did like 3 songs with the artists.
That's
And there was, I mean, with the athletes. So what happened was the artists weren't even present yet. Like, this was just the athletes.
Yeah.
So I get a phone call from Dave and Nicole, and they just like, hey, these songs are crazy. And I was just like, oh, you like them? It was like, these are crazy. We actually sent them off to Madden, and Madden wants to do, now they want to do a soundtrack. They want to partner up with us, and they want to do a soundtrack for Madden, but they want to do it with the athletes and the artists. Are you interested? And I said, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
all because you showed up 4 hours
Are you
early.
interested? You did it.
Yeah.
The right
was
thing
like,
to do was to
absolutely.
invite me to the party. I did it. Yeah.
It's like, absolutely. And you know, when I got there, I think it took us like maybe 3 days. We put that project together in like 3 days. And it was the first time it ever happened. You know what I'm saying? And you know, at that time, man, it's crazy because I was dead broke.
Oh man.
Broke as fuck. Facts. Because we had just came off the Grammys. I was living in DC at the time, and I literally had told my mom, I was like, you know, I want to go back to LA for a short period of time to see if I can get something shaking. And she
This
was
is after the Grammy.
Yeah. Wow. This was after like the Renaissance. This was after that album. This was when we got Best Dance Electronic album. And I remember being in LA, I was staying in an Airbnb, like I was doing like the short term Airbnb, and I was renting Turo cars, And literally, like I didn't even really have like my own place. So like I didn't have none of my furniture. I didn't have none of my clothes for real. Like I was shopping at Daniel Patrick. Shout out to my guy. Like I was just wearing all his stuff. I brought him through because he works with all the athletes. So I was able to bring him through and show him like my resources. But yeah, man, that it was different for me because I was just like, wow, like that was like I think I got like $45,000 from doing that.
Yeah.
You know, and I needed that.
That
at
shit
that
helped
time.
a lot.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it also opened up the doors for my relationships with other athletes. You know what I'm saying? And their business ventures and what they want to do as well.
I want to stop for 30 seconds and say, this man won a Grammy and he was still out here trying to figure it out.
Right.
And to me, that's a segue to songwriters, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, I know you do a lot more, but let's talk about songwriters for a minute. It's so hard for songwriters to survive financially in the business the way it is set up. How do you feel about, do you think songwriters should get paid? If so, do you have an idea how they should get paid? Tehran does. Like, Tehran got paid from day one. Like, I'm like, we not showing up and the producer walk away with the money and I did all of this. I was always like that, but like 98% writers don't get paid, right? So I always say you could be a hit songwriter and be struggling and be an average producer and be thriving, because at least if you're producing, you're getting fees every time someone takes a song. And when you're a songwriter, you need the song to come out, you need the song to chart, and you better hope that all the splits is handled, everything is there so you can get paid your full money. And it usually takes about 18 months from when the song was released.
Yikes.
Exactly. Think about how that's a year and a half you gotta live
survive.
while having a hit out.
Right.
And that's how they keep them in these predatory deals where they're like, hey, we'll give you publishing deals for a little bit of money, but they know you need it, knowing that they're gonna get half of the big money coming. It's just.
Do you think they do that so that they keep songwriters writing? Like, is that kind of a thing where it's like, I want to hold you here?
The game is always set up to keep the people who are in the position to do the work in the position to always desire to do the work.
That's what I'm saying.
Desire to do the work. Not,
Right.
he might not want to work today. I can't make him work if he don't want to work. The object is to make him want to work. So how do you make him want to work? You keep his pockets empty. You sell him promise and you keep his pockets empty. And then all of a sudden, now he's at the mercy of you, and it's just bad how they treat songwriters. So what has been your experience, and how do you feel about the business and how they treat songwriters?
I mean, I always felt like they treat songwriters fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like with me, I separate myself from the songwriters. Like, I'm friends with a lot of them. I love them. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I be feeling like you still got to stand on something too. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the value comes from like what you bring. See, the thing about the songwriting thing that's crazy to me is that it's like, and I don't never want to take no credit from what people do or nothing, but it's like sometimes you got people that's complaining who might have did like a line on a song. You feel me? Yeah. Like, if you really know, you know what I'm saying? Like what it feels like to actually write the whole song. You know what I mean?
Different
story. Different. Like a lot of my records, I got demos, like full demos for, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, if I say something, it's like, I could say it, you know what I'm saying? But I'll stand on it though. Like if I say, I don't like how something's getting treated, I'll stand on that. You know what I mean? I think the thing with songwriters is it's like fake outrage sometimes. Like one moment they like, oh yeah, we're against it, but then they show up right away. Like they be so
on
quick.
time, happy as fuck.
You know what I'm saying? Like I shoot, there's been time, and you've seen it. I've called shit out before.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I stood on it. You know what I'm saying? To at least get the conversation, to be able to voice my opinion on how I felt about certain things. I'm very vocal on how I feel about certain stuff. But yeah, I definitely think that if you do a majority of the record, you should get paid 100%.
For sure.
I feel like if you bring the production in, if you're writing the song, if you're bringing the feature on it, if it needs a feature, if you're coming up with the concept, you deserve to get paid.
Okay.
But if you just show up because somebody called you and you're just kind of just sitting there and you're not, put it this way, a lot of the engineers that I work with, if they record me, I give them a percentage on publishing.
That's dope.
because we're a team, and we build my template is like my baby. So if you're making me sound good,
And they invest in your sound.
Right.
you get me?
Makes
I
sense.
love Teron's the same way. He's like Teron's the
It
same
got
way. Like
to.
out because it's like that's next level mastery though. That's next level mastery to understand the importance of how it sounds, so it can be sold, so it can be people can want it and digest it. The engineer is so important, and they don't talk enough about it.
Super important.
Super important.
And I got some of the coldest ones. You know what I mean? Got like 6, 7 go-tos. You know what I mean? But
Blessing.
going back to what I was saying, it's like I know what they add. I know the value that they add, and I know what they do. They're not just showing up because the studio's like, hey, this is our house engineer, and he doesn't care.
Yeah.
They're going in making it sound like a done record. Like
Yep.
my reference tracks or my songs or whatever be sounding like songs that could be out. It don't sound like a scratch.
Yeah.
Because they're invested.
You
they're
know
not
what I
just
mean?
like, yo,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get out
That's
of
the
here.
difference between
let
pop
me-
music and urban music, honestly. In urban music, it's like I did the beat. I don't give a fuck what y'all do with the lyrics. In pop music, it's like we sharing the song. So even if you brought the beat and there's 5 other writers on the writer side, you splitting it 6 ways. You're not in the urban side. It's like y'all 5 motherfuckers better get y'all fight over y'all 10%, and then you also have to fight the artists because for some reason newer artists don't take publishing from producers. They always want it from the writer. They want to be connected to the words. It's weird. It's like they like, you know how many artists I've heard just say, can managers call me, yo, can they just get 0.5 of the record so the name could be in the credits so they could look like a real artist?
Yeah.
And I'm
Because
like,
they singing it versus they're not on like the MIDI board.
no, but I think people want to be respected for all that they do. And I think that, how can I put this? I think one of the things that makes Beyonce much bigger than Usher, as even though to me, Usher has much better music, is the perception of Beyonce is she writes and produces, has been doing it her entire career. So you want to hear what she has to say compared to, everybody bought the Confessions album, but then you find out 10 years later that was Jermaine's story. That has to leave some residue around
Got to.
the artist. It has to, because now it's like, well, I mean, we like you, but who made the record? It was Jermaine? Oh, okay, we're gonna listen to it a little differently now. Some new guy, we don't care. It becomes part of the story. You've never asked who produced the Beyonce record. She did. You know she didn't make the beat, but you understand what I'm saying? Like her father set her up to be, like Beyonce got production credit on Survivor. This before she went solo. Her father was like, nope. My daughter's producing. Like she got producer credit. It was a big deal. Like people was mad at producer Dent at the time for giving it to her because he gave an artist in the group publishing and production on a record, and everybody knew that he did it. So it was one of those like, so I say out to say that artists want their name in the credit for the sake of saying I contributed to my own, and they don't care about the producer. Everybody knew Quincy Jones produced Michael Jackson. Everybody knew that. You got to be in the music business to know who Rod Temperton is.
Yep.
You gotta be in the music business to know what's the name that wrote Man in the Mirror? I met her. She connected to KP. You know what I'm talking about? Saida Garrett. Saida Garrett. No one heard that name. She wrote the whole song Man in the Mirror.
Oh, wow.
Everybody knows Quincy because artists celebrate their producer. They never give credit to their writer. Never. It is the most fucked up shit that happens in the music business. No one has ever came to a concert and said, are you gonna play that beat from the album? Everybody says, are you gonna sing that song?
Right.
We wanna sing the words, not the beat. So it just messed up and I just hate it. But
Can I ask,
Go
what
ahead.
was it like working on Rhythm and Flow?
Oh, that was fire. I loved it because I was able to show how I work with artists that are up and coming as well as the same way that I work with artists that are established. I think the biggest thing with me for Rhythm and Flow was that not only is it such a cool show, but it showcases artist development, and that's missing.
For sure. Was that your
So-
first time on the show?
Yeah, that was my first time.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, this is cool because this is part of my legacy. Like this is something that stamped. It was on Netflix.
yeah.
Yeah, it's there
So, you know,
forever.
I was like, so like My grandparents was able to watch it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Once your family think you're doing something, it changes it.
Man,
You know what I'm saying? Like they was able to watch it. Like my grandmom and my grandpa called me excited about watching it because they were able to watch it and not feel like it was like something crazy. Like they were able to see me in a light of like me working because they just hear it all the time. Because we miss those moments sometimes. Like I be missing my family a lot. You know what I'm saying? I try to visit as much as I can.
Your family is in Philly?
They all over in Philly, Delaware, DC.
Got you.
Virginia, all over.
Yeah.
And I'm a family person, but being in this music industry and like understanding, like I said, knowing your worth and knowing you gotta always you sacrifice certain things. And when they're able to see how I work from their perspective, it's like, okay, he's doing the right thing. Like I know that he's not out here just not coming around as much because he's just overseas and partying and just hanging out and going to the club. Like, oh no, he's actually like really working and doing his thing. Like, so that meant a lot to me for the aspect of just like my real close family and like my real close friends. Because the industry, like they be the industry is so funny because it's like I hate industry validation.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I hate it.
it's like I don't need it. Like
I
I'm
validate
cool
myself.
outside.
I
Like,
validate
I'm cool
myself.
In the streets.
Yeah.
Like I'm cool with like who I can walk out and go outside and meet people and be comfortable in knowing because I'm a good person and I have integrity. I'm a real human being. That it's like it's a different approach. These people in the industry fake as hell. So when we post certain things of being on Rhythm and Flow, you don't see some of your friends in the industry talking about it because it be slick hate.
Yeah.
But all my friends from college, all my friends
Everybody's
from
proud
high
of you.
school, all the people who I met, people at the airport, like
Right.
I'm so excited. So it's like that means a lot to me because it's like I know what I did it for. It was a purpose.
Your mom said, moving your character. What is the Derek Milano character? That when you hear that from your mother, what's the first few things that pop in your head?
Just be respectful. Treat people how you want to be treated. Be intentional. You know what I'm saying? And be honest. I think that's like my biggest thing because it's like when I being in this industry, we don't come across people that are that much respectful. Like I meet people that are rude as hell to people. I meet people who treat people like shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd never.
It's like you and I. We could have easily just been another person in the room, but that's why I knew he was gonna make it because he cared about who I was and I cared about. It's like you gotta care. If you don't care, how you gonna survive in this shit? Them people that's like, I ain't a real rapper, you'll be gone soon.
Yeah.
I ain't a real this. How are you doing this and not just acting like you care? That doesn't make sense to me. Like this will feed your entire family for generations if you care enough. And you out here like, I don't give a fuck. I mean, it's just what I do. Okay.
Because they're focused on the business.
So let me ask you. So I heard that you was handpicked to do a remix for Beyonce. Who picked you? Like, what hand picked you? Like, who?
So it was Daniel Smith.
Okay.
Daniel Smith over at Rock Nation.
Daniel, that's my nigga.
Yep.
Solange, yeah. Solange, like, yeah, it's
Daniel
my nigga.
Smith and Carla.
His wife, his new wife, yep.
Yep.
It's my girl too.
To this day, I mean, like we all friends. I was just doing some stuff for Carla. But yeah, I had went to a camp. They were doing this Beyonce camp already, and I didn't know about it. That's when I started understanding how the industry works. Cause I'm seeing all my friends that I brought in these rooms at this house.
And no one told you.
And nobody told me.
Wow.
And they walking up to me, bro, and I'm like, bro.
You got invited
whatever.
too? Yeah.
Cause they've been there for this whole time and not one time said nothing. But Daniel was the one who had me pull up, and I got there, and I was working on some records with P2J. And there was a record that just stood out in that room for the whole thing. It was like a rap record. 'Cause everybody was doing ballads. But I came with some ignorant, fun, up-tempo, energetic, just disruptive, alternative. Like, that's just me. You know what I mean? And I think I pulled up to that session, like, fly as hell. Like, you know, in this era, it's like 2019. So, you know, I got the check. So I'm going in like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Feeling myself. But it gave me confidence in to make the music that I was making because it represented the confidence of when I press play. Because that matters. I don't just press play no more unless I know I got something.
Love that.
Before I would just press play and go through this. I'm only pressing play on you if I know I'm prepared.
I love that. We have this segment. I want to do broke story because
He
I
kind
feel
of
like
gave us one.
Huh?
He kind of gave us one.
I know, but that's how I said I know he'll give us a good one.
Okay.
So there's a segment called Your Broke Story. Where we ask people like yourself to tell a moment where you was at your lowest financially, where you was at mentally, and what did you mentally do to get out of it? What pops in your head?
Let me think. I'm trying to think.
No, it's gonna be good. So go ahead and get the ingredients.
Nah, because being in this shit, you be broke multiple times.
A lot of times.
No, seriously.
Start thinking about.
And can I tell you something? It's worse. It's worse when you got it, then you broke, then you got to get it again. Oh
Right.
my God.
And then because now you don't want to tell people you went broke and they think one
Yeah.
thing and you
Now
over
you're a bad
here.
decision maker. You want
Yeah.
another check? You sure you deserve another check? You fucked the first one up.
To be honest, I would say after I did that, the Epic deal. I would say after I did the Epic deal, because I got to a point where I was just like, if they not believing in me, I'm gonna spend my own money. And I just said, fuck it. And just was spending my own stuff. My mom would hit me like, hey, slow down. Slow down. I'm like, nah, I gotta pay for this. I gotta pay for that. I gotta go here. I gotta go here. They're gonna reimburse me. Never did.
Oh wow.
So, it just was depleting. And then when that shit was gone, I was like, okay, how am I gonna get this shit back? But how am I gonna be able to get my respect too as well? So it was crazy. What happened was BMI Awards had came up around that time. And shout out to Catherine Bruin. That's
Shout
like my
out
sister.
to Catherine Bruton.
Yeah.
As soon as you said her name, I already know how the story ends.
Yep. Shout out to Cat. Shout out to C. Barrett. They invited me to. I got invited to the BMI Awards because we were winning awards. And that year, I was doing Megan Thee Stallion stuff. Waukesha, Time Today at that time, it was like back to back. So I got invited and they do Songwriter of the Year. So I'm thinking okay, cool. This was in Miami. Pharrell, I think, hosted it. Busta Rhymes was receiving the Icon the Icon Award there. So I told my mom, I said, I got an extra ticket. I said, Mom, we're gonna go there together. Me and my mom went there together. I paid for my cameraman to go out there. And when we got there, like I said, I didn't really have it like that. So when I got there, they were going through all this stuff, and then the Songwriter of the Year came up. The category came up. So I'm like, I'm looking around, I'm like, shoot, pretty much the only songwriter here. A producer got it.
Yeah.
For songs that I wrote.
Oh, golly.
So at that point, I was like, they don't fuck with us. They don't fuck with songwriters. And I'm not about to be no broke ass songwriter either though. I'm not about to beg, I'm not about to complain, but I'm not about to be no broke songwriter, and I'm not about to not get my respect either. So I immediately went back to DC. I felt the way I was super sad because I'm just like, bro, what?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's like people be saying things like, oh yeah, he do all the girl records. It's like, not really. I do, but I've done a lot of male records as well. You know what I'm saying? And to be able to be in that space with those iconic names, Pharrell and them, and I never met Pharrell before. So to be able to receive Songwriter of the Year for Waukesha, that song was impactful. You know what I'm saying? Time Today was impactful. So it's like, that could have been a conversation damn, I know you've been doing this stuff for all these women, but damn, nigga.
That was Money Back Your
nigga,
record, yeah.
What the fuck?
Sure.
This is an anthem. You know what I'm saying? So when I went back, I literally wrote down on my phone. It's on my phone. Matter of fact, you can get my phone real fast, Troy. Or maybe that one. Pass me that one. I went back and I wrote down all my goals. I literally wrote down all my goals. Cause I was crushed. Cause I was just like, man, if I'm not gonna get paid,
Right.
at least let me get my just do of what I am so I can get paid.
Yeah.
Right.
Give me my credit.
They
You know
took
what I'm
both.
saying? Because you know what you can do with. That's why I respect Toronto so much, because
Yeah.
it's like when you get those titles, songwriter of the year, it's like people got to talk to you different.
Yeah.
It's not just, oh, I'm just song. It's like, no, this is like you've hit a pinnacle and you are prestige
Yes.
at what you do. You know what I'm saying?
It's like Academy Award-winning. Like,
Yeah.
you can't take that from me.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was on that Grammy stage. You can't take it from me no more.
Let me show you this so you can see. I wrote down, so I went back home and I wrote down this.
Can I say it out loud?
Yeah, you can read
Okay,
it. You can read all of
2022 goals. Move back to LA, collab with more songwriters, get 3 pop hits, write a majority of Sweetie's album, have a heart-to-heart convo with, I'm not gonna say the name, find a PR, start my JV, get my friends publishing deals, find new management. Shout out to my brother in the house. Go crazy on a run, urban, rank 3 artists, work with the Kanye West. I love this. Secure 6 song. This is incredible.
This is dope.
I love this, bro. Man, good for you,
And
Bill.
I kept it in my book bag.
YouTube subscribers, get labeled to pay studio
I
hours,
gotta
learn
turn
how to
notebooks
reduce,
with lists
get
like
into
this.
acting. Bro, I love to change my diet. Find a girlfriend. Everything you did, become the most talked about creative in the industry. I love it, bro.
Like that.
I love that shit, bro.
Because this was I wrote this at my lowest point.
Because what people don't understand about writing things down is once you write it down, what you wrote down now becomes your accountability partner.
Mm-hmm.
You wrote it. You could type something all day. But I could delete some type shit. You gotta cross some shit out you wrote in the pen. You can't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So seeing you write it is like, that's what makes you different. You know who you are. You know where you want to go. Like, that's specific, man. Good for you, bro. Like, good for you. So what did you do? Everything on the list.
Everything on that list.
I want to clap for that. Everything on that list. See, so where are you now? Would you sign a new deal? Are you writing? Are you kind of picking your spots? Are you waiting for the game to figure out what you want to do? Like, cause that's why I retired. I was like, I can't do this shit no more. Cause you get tired of waiting for shit to figure out. It's like, you know what? Once I let go of it, I saw the industry differently. Now I saw it almost the way an outsider would, which was an advantage because now I'm like, we don't have to do that. We can do this. We can do it like this. What's good, y'all? This is Ray Daniels, aka the Culture Referee, and I'm here to talk to you about YKTV Magazine, which is the #1 magazine for prison entertainment. These prisoners are sitting in jail. They have nothing to do but read these magazines and read your ads, buy your music, support your business, anything that you can do that's online commerce. They already have published over 140 magazines with 36 major artists that have covered it, and I'm giving you an opportunity to advertise in this magazine and get directly to an audience that you know has the time and the money to spend. Info at the bottom, info at the GAUDs Show. Holla at us, whether you're an artist, producer, whoever you are. We can help you with your business. Holla at us to get to YKTV. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad I did. But where are you right now in your journey, in the Derek Milano journey, as far as like career-wise?
So we're securing a new artist deal,
Okay.
which I'm extremely excited about because now it's like I got the team right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Troy. Like we really,
My brother.
really fought. Like it's crazy because it was about to happen again.
Yeah.
I called him. I said, Troy, I want to take my music more serious. He was like, all right, I think you should. I said, all right, I'm shooting a video. How much it cost? 15, really it was 20.
Yeah.
But I told him 15. He's like, well, we probably, I said, nah, I got to do it now. Pay for that. Then I said, Troy, I want to do this. Pay for that. Troy, I want to do. He's like, yo, you know, little bro, just let me think of something so you're not just spending money.
Yeah.
And we can actually have a plan. And you know, and that's why I say like, it really matters when you have like genuine people around you and you
It's very
somebody
important.
you can trust because, you know, like I call him like, Troy, I'm ready to drop. Like, I want to put this out on my birthday. I'm flying to New York. Troy, like, you going to New York? I'm like, yeah. How much is it? Shoot, I think like 6,000. You know, because you're doing the hotel, you got to do this, you're going to the club. So he was like, yo, he said, I'm going to figure this out. He said, we going to figure this out. He said, we not putting out this song or we not going to do nothing without having a situation. So literally me and him was reaching out to so many distribution companies, like trying to leverage our situations. And, you know, they coming back to us saying these numbers that just don't make no sense. And I'm getting discouraged again. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, here we go again. I'm about to put myself first. And once again, you know what I mean? Going down the same path. And Troy was like, nah, just trust me, just trust me, just trust me. So we trusted each other. Because when I went to New York, I was like, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to get what I need to do done. I ended up executive producing a project for an artist. And the project was so strong and solid that it got their label excited to the point where they were like, yo, how can we help you? Like, what can we do? And, you know, now we talking about a whole artist situation.
But what do you do differently to this time compared to last time? Like, because you know what you don't want to do. That's
the whole room.
That can answer right there. That's the answer right there.
And ask questions.
Understand it.
And ask questions, because the thing about it is, people don't really give me stuff.
Me neither.
I don't get gifts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really get stuff like that. So for me, it's like, I'm so used to just, when people give me something or present something, I'm so grateful for it because it never happens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, you actually believe in me?
Yeah.
So when people be like, what, you got that? I'm like, nah, but you understand, I don't get shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, I would fall in that place of, oh yeah, we believe in you. And it's like, oh, they believe in me.
Yep.
And then I would just sign some shit just because I feel like you on my team. You feel me?
It's almost like I got to pay it back to you because you gave it to me. So I got to believe in you the same. I dealt with that. Like that's a mental exercise that I think we all got to learn to get past. And to me, it all comes from believing in you.
Yep.
Because it's almost like the humble man in you wants to be thankful for all the love you get, but then there has to be an arrogant nigga in you that's like, I'm supposed to. And you got to learn when to bring the arrogant nigga out and when to bring the humble nigga out. But sometimes the humble nigga could hurt business. The same way the arrogant nigga could hurt business. The humble nigga could be like, I'll just take what you give me. And they gonna be like, okay, you said I'll take what you give me. And I gave you what I wanted rather than walking in. And I understand that because I remember when I got my first A&R contract and it was with Epic and LA. It was like, LA literally said to me, if you really want to work with me, don't make this negotiation hard. Literally, because I wanted to work for him. And when they sent the offer, my lawyer was like, I'm gonna go back and ask for this. And I said, no, I wanna make it easy on him.
Yeah.
Because I want to show him what I could do. And in 2 years, he'll give me another deal. And then that didn't happen. And then it was like, damn, but Ray, you set yourself up. You like I'll put it like this. A girl that's great at sex doesn't offer it up. Like a girl that's good at sex doesn't walk up to somebody and be like, hey, you want to fuck? She knows it's good. It's like, there's an entry. There's an entry, not a fee, but it might be like, you got to take me on a date. You got to, but it's like, so it's like, that's why when my last situation ended, I was like, I'm never going back in because I knew I wasn't going to ask. I'm too good to ask. I'm too good to ask y'all for me to help y'all. I'd rather just keep helping myself and surviving, and that's kind of where it is. So I'm glad you noticed that. So so we have a segment we call Credit Check because on this show, we hate flowers.
Yeah.
I hate when they say, give him his flowers. Man, fuck my flowers. Give me my credit.
Yeah.
Because I could leverage my credit. I can't leverage no flower. So what we do is, we ask people like yourself to give us 2 to 3 unsung heroes in the Derek Milano story that you just want to shout out and give some credit to.
I'm gonna say my mom, number one. My mom literally is that's like my best friend. You feel me? Like from the jump. Like even when people didn't really believe in my music, my mom never. And I wasn't making the best type of music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Music would be vulgar,
Yeah.
young as hell. But she always believed in everything that I did. And
That's dope. She gave you them looks, the curly hair.
Yep. You feel me?
Shout out to Bob.
So mama,
And then the second one,
who else?
I gotta really think this one through. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna probably say Troy. I'm gonna say Troy for sure because it's a little different. Because Troy was there literally when I was like really trying to figure it out. Like, he probably won't tell you. Well, he would tell you. Actually, I asked him. But when I had first got to Orlando to go out there for school, like I went to school for film and video production. And in order to graduate from the program that I was at, I had to do internship hours. And at that time, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do internship-wise, but I knew I wanted to do something that involved like day-to-day and vlogging and stuff. And he used to just throw these big parties like in Orlando, and I was like, man, that stuff looks cool. So I showed up with my book bag one day, had camo shorts. I was 18. And I showed up to the front door at Roxy's, and they was being rude as hell, bro. They was like, can't come in, you got a book bag, no cameras. And then Troy walked out and was like, yo, who you? I said, my name is Derek. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in school out here. You know, I do videos.
That's crazy. That's how y'all met.
And he said I can come in. He was like, nah, you good, come in. And it was the first Friday at Roxy's. It was my first time ever going in there. That party was crazy. And then I got into that. And then he brought me on to Vane. Like I talked to a few promoters out there, but he was a part of the team too. So it was a conversation that they all had to have as a collective. And he was one of the ones that championed me to get to be a part of as an opener.
Yeah.
So I was opening as a host on the microphone before the lights would be on still. He'll tell you.
And this is
bar backs.
This is you just being a young, hungry Derek. Like, I'm gonna be somebody.
And
That's
seen
fire.
he's seen me. You really should ask him.
I was about to say,
needs a mic.
can I tell you why? I was gonna say something. It takes one to know one. Usually I gotta see you. He's seen him in you, because that's why it's like I only gotta ask. He's shaking his head, yes, because it's like I know the world we live in. He's seen.
Yeah.
That's what makes me. That's why I like Alex. I see me in him. I'm like, that's what I would have done. I would have showed up and just tried. And it's like, I'm gonna give you a chance, but that don't mean you in. That just means I see a little bit of me in you, and when that happens, then it grows. So that's good. Shout out to Troy and shout out to Mom Dukes.
Even outside of that though, like when everything was going on, Troy never asked me for nothing, but he would always check on me. Like I would literally get texts from everybody else asking for stuff, what they going through, you know what I'm saying? And Troy would just text me like, little bro, just checking on him. I might not hit him back all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
You
it's
hot.
different things
Yeah.
going on. You know what I'm saying? So and it got to a point where I was just like, yo, this is a genuine person who really knows me that's asking about my well-being and mental health. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of just went, it's a different conversation because it's like, he really knows.
Yeah.
And he knows me.
Yeah.
So if I'm not feeling something,
Yeah.
he gonna know before anybody else.
Capricorn energy.
If something happens, he's gonna know how to react
Yeah.
before anybody else because he's seen me get pissed off for the very first time, snap on the beach. So he knows, like he's seen pretty much everything. He was the first person that took me traveling to get like a paid gig in Memphis for an artist. You know what I'm saying? They paid me to come out there. He came, he talked to my mom. My mom didn't. She was like, "Who is this guy?" Like,
he cares.
You know,
that's one thing you give him.
So
He cares.
it's just a little different. So I definitely, and then this run that we on right now, like, I really appreciate it because I don't trust nobody in this shit, bro. I'm gonna be honest, like, all this, oh, you my brothers, like, it's different because we know each other.
Yeah.
But all these new people
But not only that, we never took from each other. It's like we work on shit. It's like it's love. It's just we in the trenches together. It's different. It's the people who
these new people, bro,
using you to get in your trench.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
I don't like it either.
Like he's actually like I have no problem giving him something because he was there.
Yeah.
This is other people who don't
Deserve.
And it's just like, bro, like what? Like, you know what I'm going through?
Yeah, do you care?
Yeah, like. So yeah, I would say my mom and Troy.
Let me ask you the last question. This is the GAUDs Show, and we usually ask people like yourself, do you consider yourself a GOAT or an underdog? If you do consider yourself an underdog, what would you want to happen for you to say, Ray, I feel like I'm a GOAT now?
I feel like I'm a underdog as a legend, but for my generation, I'm a GOAT. Because I've done it to the highest level.
Yeah.
I just turned 31.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for like 31 and under,
Yeah, they love
it
you.
ain't nobody I can't get in contact with. Now the older,
Yeah.
I'm still reaching out like, hey,
Sure.
I never met Tricky Stewart.
Yeah.
Never met
Tricky?
Dream.
I can set you to meet Tricky.
Never
I
met,
connect
you
with
know
Tricky.
what I'm
I got
saying?
you.
Like there's people who
I hit Mark as soon as I'm done with the interview. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But it's like to them, I'm an underdog because
Yeah.
they haven't worked with me yet.
And then when they get in the
So
room,
when they get in the room with me, it's like, who is this nigga?
but the common, I don't even know if you know this, the common word that the common thing that you've done in every scenario you've ever been in was show and prove. Everything you said from the deal, from the writing, it was like, I'm a show, and that I showed, now I deserve. You never walked in the room saying, I know I'm the GOAT, so give me some money. You walked in the room saying, I'm gonna show y'all, now pay me. So to me, I definitely give you that. But I will tell you this, like, you have a Grammy with your name on it. And there's people who've been in this game for years. Like, not to bring it up, but Nicki don't even have a Grammy with her name on it. You see what I'm saying? So you got to give yourself some GOAT credit. So that's what we're going to do at the GAUDs Show. We're going to give you some GOAT credit. You achieve things that most people haven't. But I just want you to do me a favor. The last thing I'm going to say is don't minimize yourself. The game is set up to humble you. It's like they humble the beast so they can get you for cheaper, raise you up so you get a little bit, chest pick again, pop it, kill him again. Like that's all they do. So I tell you, as from a brother to a brother, it's like, don't get caught up in this shit. Write that plan down again.
Okay.
You need to be doing one every fucking, like we do it every day around here. We write down what we want for the day and everything. So write down a plan again and then go execute it. But you validate you. Fuck this game, because I've seen them kill so many of us, and they don't kill you physically, they kill you in your brain and your heart. They make you feel like you can't do it this way.
Emotionally.
And there's one thing that you did, that you don't even know that really was like the savior, is you went home. When you go home, it reminds you who you are. Dog, let me tell you something. I didn't figure this out. We was in the middle of a deal in LA. It's one of the times I was in LA for like 10 days in a row, right? You know, I want to get home.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm in the middle of a deal, and it was like they wore me down. And then I was like, it just so happened I was going home. So I went home. It was a Saturday. They called me on a Saturday, and I was driving in my car on Butner Road. I remember this when I had my house on Camp Creek. I'm driving in my car on Butner Road, and I didn't feel pressure from them no more. I was like, I'll fucking talk to y'all when I'm ready. Don't fucking pressure me. I'm fucking home. Meanwhile, y'all was talking to me and y'all was home the whole time. And I was like, I don't want to do that now. I'm home. I'm telling you, everybody, you gotta have an escape that you go to get powered up. You go get loved on. You go get appreciated. You go get reminded of where you come from. Dog, every day I come to work. I live in Fayetteville. Every day I come to work, I swear to God, I ride up Old National. Every day. I see this. You're there. I see the same. I see the McDonald's I worked at. I see the Wendy's I worked at. I see the KFC I worked. I never could forget. I see the bus stops I used to run to try to catch. And sometimes I might be like, damn, I'm getting driven in my car to my office in Buckhead. You know, it'd be like a good feeling, but it's like, I always see that to remind me, nigga, this what could have been if you didn't keep making the right decisions.
Right.
This would have been your life if you didn't wake up. So nigga, don't slip today. Make the decision that's best for you and your team. And it's always that. So to me, with you going, that's the thing. Like, it was always something different about you, and that's what it is. It's your foundation, bro. Yo, you got that. As long as you got that, they can't break you. Teron is the happiest man on earth because his foundation is good. He don't give a fuck what's happening in the world. My foundation is good. And to me, I would just tell you, keep focused on that. And when you enter these rooms, don't ask no more. Tell. Don't say what y'all think. Don't ever give a motherfucking option on you. Because guess what? It's shit that's working right now that they didn't think was good. Like it's shit working right now that nobody in this room think is good, but it's working. And the people that did it thought it was good. That's why it works. So when you walk in a room, don't ask no more. Tell, hey, this is the plan. Hey, this is who I am. Don't even ask a motherfucker what you think. Say, this is where I want to go. Who can help me get there? I promise you, because the room is set up to break you. It is set up to break you. That's why when you come in, everybody, they already talked about you. They already got a plan for you. They already got everything. You walk in the room as a formality. They trying to break you. They trying to see, does he believe? Because if you believe, they'll believe. Tell them next time. That's all you got to do. And the rest of this shit is yours, bro. I fuck with you, man. You know you my nigga, bro. I appreciate we finally got the show. Everybody, let's get up for Derek Milano. This the GAUDs Show. We are out.